Welcome back to another episode of Classic Truck Garage. So as you can see, got the 83 still in here, getting really close to being done with it. I may try to order my tires here, maybe here in a week or two. We'll see. But I am going to get set up here today. It ain't going to be a very long video. We're fixing to go to another car show. It's a little fall festival later. So kind of hang around, watch some of that. We're going to get just some clips of some of the vehicles that's there. It's nothing like the C10 Nationals that we just went to. So, but while I'm waiting on actually the son-in-law, I'm gonna get my shocks put in. You know, it's they're rough country 4-inch lift shocks. To get the camera turned around here. You know, I know rough country gets dogged a lot, and that's the lift I end up going with on the truck. I know they're not the smoothest riding, but I'll be honest with you, I've run them back in the 90s. Never had issues. I just got the cheaper kit. I've got blocks in the back with the extended shocks. As far as issues, I've never had an issue with rough country. Do they ride rough? Heck yeah, they do. But if I was looking for a smooth ride, you know, I'd be building something besides a straight axle square body. You know, I'd have an OBS or something. You know, the ride don't bother me. I kind of actually like the firm ride. You know, to me, they feel better on the road. I actually like driving one with the rough country lift better than I do with the stock springs. You know, not as much body roll. Now I do not, when I put them on, I do not run a sway bar on them. You know, once they get broke in good, I've never kept a truck long enough for these to really get broke in, but once they get broke in good, if it gets to trying to roll around, you know, I'll put the sway bar back on it. I've still got it. I'll fix me up some drop brackets for it. All right. So to get started, we're going to put the bushings in. You know what? I was going to use some WD-40, but I don't want to make a mess with it. I'm going to get a little bit of dish liquid. Maybe coat the inside of that. That might be a good, you know what? No. Let's go back to the old lubricanti foaming glass cleaner. I mean, I use that stuff on everything. I got a buddy that laughs at me about it. Good stuff. You know what? And I actually cleaned the windshield of my truck with it a minute ago. That's why it happened to be sitting here. Come on. Yeah, and guess what I just done? Yes. I put the wrong bushing in there. Ha! Imagine that. Imagine that. So I'm going to take the one that's supposed to go in it. Just keep on going. Alright. And I'll show you why this longer bushing goes in on the top here in just a second. The top mount on a 4-wheel drive square body is a double shear. There's a bracket on the outside. On the 2-wheel drives, there's not. They just have the stud comes out, nut goes on it. But on a 4-wheel drive, there's a bracket, you know, so it's got a shear point here and here. So, and I'm going to have to double check. I'm going to get the camera set back up in there. But that's the way I put the bushings in. I just take a block of wood. Don't hammer the fire out of them or nothing. But the shorter bushing will go on the bottom. It's the right width for the spacing on the shock bracket on the frame. So I'm going to spray this one in, get it drove in, and we'll be ready to mount this one up. Woo! Got a lung full. Got a lung full. Oh, I can't even get a hold of the thing now. So there's the bushing in the bottom. All right, I'm going to get the camera set back around. show you. There's some little, I think, poly spacers that go in the top up here. Yeah, these, you can run these on the bush and somehow in there and kind of fill the gap. We'll see what we need. I'll get the camera turned around here and get these put on there and we'll look at it. Yeah, the wife just come out here and telling me the spray weight glass cleaner is on sale for $2 a can somewhere. So I told her, yeah, get it. Get it. We need it. I need it. Gotta have it. Gotta have it. I mean, that's like Frank's hot sauce, you know, I use that stuff on everything. Use it on everything. What was I doing? What was I doing? Kind of looking at these spacers, I actually believe we'll only run one. Yep. Just trying to think. I think I want to put it on the frame side. I don't know that it really matters. They only sent 2 spacers, so it got me figuring that it probably. So if you'll notice, I don't know if you can see. I hope you can see. Got this spacer over the bushing on that side. You know, I've never really looked at the instructions on these. These lift kits. I put quite a few of these rough countries in. I just put them in. And don't get me wrong, if I had the money, I'd have a better lift. But I'm kind of cheap. Not really. Yeah, I am cheap. You know, I got a decent job, but I don't have this money to burn. I'm reaching up behind, putting the lock washer and the nut on the back side here. Not going to tighten them up yet until I get it all mounted up. And I'm going to have to spread. I'm going to have to take a hammer. I'm going to turn the camera around. I can get it under here. I'm going to turn the camera around and show you my shock mounts on the axle side. They have clamped together. I'll get the camera turned around here. They've squeezed together. I'm going to take a hammer and just open them up a little bit where the bushing will go in there. So what I do, I don't know if it's the right way. I don't know if anything I do is the right way, but it's my way. What we're going to do, I know you can't see from the camera angle, but the brackets on the shock mount brackets on the axle are too close together for this bushing to go in. So what I do is take a hammer and just open them up just a little bit. I've probably got the dang shock right in the way. Yep. Probably got my hand in the way from you seeing. You can just tap them a few licks and they will spread open. They kind of get clamped together when you tighten up, so you know the bushing on the other shock or something was probably a little bit more narrow than this one was, or it just got clamped down to the point that I mean, there ain't really nothing to putting these on, but you know, did I film it? Well, if I can find one of my pocket knives, I always carry 2 in case I lose one. No, I can't. There's one of them. This is a dull one. Now this is the tricky part. Whenever you cut this band, this shock's going to want to compress. What I'm going to do is set it up here on top of, I'll have to cut myself. On top of the bracket, kind of like so. and see if we can, oh shoot, fire. See if I can get it wedged in there. Oh, we still need to open that up a little bit more. God, them things got some rebound to them. I like to have my bolt ready too. That way, whenever I get it to where I can put it in there. Are you kidding me? Whoop. Whoop. Easy. Let the bolt stop it. Now I gotta get it pushed up there and line back up, get it through. Come on, bolt. Go home. Go home. Give her a few love taps. It started through. I don't know why it's binding. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all they are to putting your shocks on. This for any of them, any of the K series. Some of the K series had dual shocks. They had another mount mounted. I've only had one that's had them. Right in, best I remember, it was around in this area and came down and tied onto another. I think it just had a double bracket made right here. I can't remember. I've only had one of them that ever had it, but it was a factory option on some of the trucks. This one don't have them, and if it did have them, we probably wouldn't put it on because it's kind of useless, in my opinion. In my opinion, kind of useless. But there they are, put on. I'm gonna grab my 3/4 inch. I got the wrench, well, I got the socket laying there. Get them tightened up, go slap the other side on. All right, we over on the driver's side, get these bushings put in for it. Got a little trick too I'm gonna show you on the brake lines, what I use on these trucks when I run the 4, and it'll work with the 6-inch lift, the 4s and the 6s. And I left my hammer over there. Let me go get my body hammer real quick. Where's it at? Oh gosh. Well, I left the bolts over here too. Man, getting old sucks. I'll just kind of tell you and I'll show you what I use on when I lift these trucks. When I use the rough country lifts, I run. So this truck's an 83, so I went to the parts store and got brake lines for an 83 instead of a K10. Got them for an 83 K20, C20. I'm sorry. So the 2-wheel drive brake lines for the same year of truck are about 5. Best I remember, they're about 5 inches longer. So whenever I put the rough country, when I put the lift, I'll usually always buy the rough country. The only ones I've actually ever bought. I've had trucks with other ones, but whenever I put these under, that's what I run. I run a 2-wheel drive, whatever year the truck is, you know, because around 79, 80, they went to metric fitting on the brake calipers. So whatever fitting, whatever year the truck is, get you brake lines for a 2-wheel drive whenever you're lifting. If you're going over 6 inches, it probably won't work. Now on the back, I ran a 99 to 2000, you know, the years after the OBS Z-set 4-wheel drive rear brake line for it. Bolts right in, bolts right to your brake line on the frame and to the T-block on the housing. And I mean, you can get the braided stainless. I would kind of like to have had them or whatever they are, the braided brake lines. But, you know, for $50 a piece compared to $15 a piece, you know, I bought nearly all 3 of these for the price of one of those. Plus, I can go to the parts store, regardless where I'm at. I can get one off the shelf, you know, stick it right on there. You do have to take, on the 2-wheel drive, they've got a metal bracket right in this area. It bolts to the A-arm, bolts the brake line to the AR. It flexes from there to the A-arm, then from the A-arm to the caliper. I don't have one to show you, but I pretty much take a screwdriver, be real careful not getting the rubber, pry that off, and take a pair of vice grips, just keep bending that metal piece off from around it until you can pull it off. And but that's just kind of a cheap alternative to a brake line when you're running a lifted truck. Yeah. Like I said, I'm putting my spacer on the frame side just to kind of space the shock out from the frame just a little bit. There's the top one in. Get the nut started on it. Before I drive the truck, I am going to take it, pull the transmission pan, change the filter and the fluid in it. I'm sure it needs it. I would almost bet, knowing the truck as long as I've known it, and I've known it for 30, well, since about 91, 92. I'd almost bet that one's going to go in. I would almost bet it's never had the transmission fluid changed in it. Would almost guarantee it. But we're going to get that changed. I've never had no luck personally with a 700 R4 in a four-wheel drive, but I was rough on them. When keep them in the mud, overheating them, and within a weekend I could tear a brand new one out. I'm sure that probably lasts me longer now because I'm not as hard on one, but oh Lord. Well, I think I'm gonna just slip this band off instead of trying to dig around. I didn't get my knife out. Instead of trying to dig around and cut it, make sure my bolt passes through all right. And that stupid thing's gonna want to take off. Oh Lord, I got the band hung in it. I caught it just in time as it was trying to compress out. Those puppies have some pressure on them. That's one of the stoutest shocks. Probably one reason they don't ride too good. Well, we got the shocks put on the 83 model. We got the shocks put on the 83 model. We're going to head to a little car show. We got a truckload of garbage to take off to the dump, but we're going to go see if we can find us another $50 cheeseburger like at the C10 Nationals last weekend. No, they were high. I mean, $25 for a cheeseburger. It's pretty good, but we're going to head down to a little fall festival here close to home. It's actually in our town. A little community puts one on every year in October. I was really hoping to, got a bumpy driveway. Really hoping to have the truck ready to go this year, but not gonna happen. So we're gonna go down, just look around, see what all's there.
Instead of fighting and arguing and being mean about something, I just think I'll go.
Oh, okay.
I like that.
Oh, too, that's Suburban.
Town, don't you?
Yeah, you'd look good now.
With all the grandbabies?
Yeah. That's what we need. That's clean. They even got a tenant.
32.
They even got a 32 Tennessee license plate on there.
Priscilla Walker. 120. Raymond DeLord. Ticket number 120. 77. 711.
That is too slick. Somebody door didn't get. Huh? Getting a long bed. Square body. Yeah, but that's gonna change next week. Match under the motor or under the hood. The start on. No. Well, we made it back from the little fall festival. We got there kind of late. A lot of vehicles was gone, but there's a few of them on here that was kind of my favorites. It was still sitting there. Wish we'd have got there a little sooner, but I was waiting on somebody. No,
You wasn't waiting on me.
wasn't waiting on her. But thanks everybody for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment.